And welcome everybody to the glorious episode of the Student Body Rights USC podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, and as always, I am podcasting off the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSBR is my Twitter handle. Check me out there. Also, you can check me out on Put On Waivers underscore podcast. That's Put On Waivers underscore podcast on Instagram. So I got some cool stuff for you today. So let's just talk about the motion or the injunction, whatever it is for DJ for DJ Winfield. He is nothing has been filed yet. I think they're trying to, negotiate right now and see what they can do. Obviously they want him to play. USC wants him to play. His team or whatever wants him to play. And he should be under the old law. I guess this wouldn't be an issue, but ever since the House settlement has come through, the Trojans have been kind of in a tough situation. It seems like everything after every situation that has to do with player eligibility, the NCAA has decided to say no. Ever since they had ever since the House settlement, so we'll see. One kid just won a case in federal court in Nevada. So hopefully it doesn't get to that point. Right now, people are just saying like, hey, if it's a 50 chance, he cannot practice with the Trojans right now. So as fall camp is about to start on the 30th, he can't be a part of it. That's something to think about as well. And then, and it's a 50 proposition. It's either yes or no, and USC has to figure out what they're going to do in that situation. I kind of look at it as a situation where you have to act like this is like it's an ACL tear, like it's like it's an MCL tear, and like he's out for the year. Who's going to step up and make inroads here to help this team do what they need to do. You have Michael Ben Willis. He's a guy. I think they said something about Miller as well. Kalon Miller is another candidate as well. I mean, somebody got to step up and play. And I think what would be nice is if maybe Ben Willis gets a lot of the snaps in the fall at fall camp, and then you get like a reprieve from the NCAA. Then they say Winfield can come back and play, and then you have he gets some first team reps and experience just in case injury happens in the interior of that offensive line. So would they consider moving somebody like Tobias Raymond to guard, and then flipping somebody else out to right tackle? That's something that you got to think about it. I mean, this is Lincoln Riley's offense, so you don't this is a big thing because they lost Pregnon. They could lose Winfield. They don't. I mean, they also had. I mean, they had a lot of opportunities to go after multiple players in the transfer portal as far as offensive line goes, and they were not able to get enough bodies, I think. And now we're in a situation where you're hoping on the NCAA, and in my experience, hoping on the NCAA is like is like wishing upon a star. They could one day say be your friend, and one day they could just be like, hey, we're good, we're not doing this. And I think that's one of the issues that I have with the NCAA. And then one thing I'm worried about. So you got to act like he's not going to play, and instead of sitting there hoping that he does play, act like he's not going to play. And then if you get him back, that's even like it's almost like a last second trade in the National Football League. We have Big Ten Media Day this the other day. Coach Riley talked about a lot of different things. I think one thing with the Notre Dame thing is, right now the Big Ten is really big on this, trying to get the top four teams to get automatic bids into the tournament. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. But that directly does put um, the USC Notre Dame rivalry in the crosshairs. And I think that's something that like I said, for me, the way I look at it and the way I talked about it before is the same people who are going to kill USC for because this will always be USC's fault. It will never be Notre Dame's fault. Um, but if USC is the team that's in the turn that's in a conference and Notre Dame isn't. USC is the team who is saying, "Hey, we can play year by year." They're still lukewarm about that. They don't want to do year by year. They want a whole contractual schedule. Um, for a long time coming. It would hurt college football. But I think the same folks who would criticize who will criticize USC and blame USC for ending this are the same folks who are going to say, "Oh man, they're not good enough because they're playing, the rough and tough, Big Ten schedule, and a loss to Notre Dame it puts them at 9-3, and they miss the playoffs." I mean, that's going to be something. That's going to be something where that would be a huge thing for them to deal with. That'd be a big thing for them to have to deal with. Um, and I think that's the thing. I mean, when USC was in the Pac-12, it was okay to play Notre Dame. But now again, Notre Dame has an opportunity to join the Big Ten. They don't want to. They don't want to join the ACC. The ACC. They don't want to join the SEC. They just want to be Notre Dame by themselves. And if you know anybody by yourselves, like you can't. I mean, you can't just sit there and just force all these teams to play by your set of rules. And USC is in a situation where they're trying to build a team that can win a national championship, try to build a whole facility and all these things like that. And like it's and the people just allow Notre Dame to have their cake and eat it too. And it is what it is. I mean, if USC ends it for a while, puts it on hiatus or whatever, then fine. I don't have a problem with it. I just want to see a team in the playoff. Now they do all that and the rivalry and don't make and like they have these great recruiting classes and they're not making the playoff. Then that's going to be the nail in the coffin, I think, for Lincoln Riley at USC. But we're not there yet. We're not close to being there yet. So we'll see what happens there. Everybody talked about I think USC Lincoln Riley talked about how Wayman Jordan got there. They were looking at other young players and they were like, they wanted somebody to kind of fit in and roll and kind of fit in and just be like that stable back for them for a while. Then they saw Wayman Jordan play and they were like, we got to have this dude. And they went out there and got him. I think he's one of the guys who I'm really excited about this year. And just, can't wait to see what he has to offer. I think this is one of the best backfields USC has had since Lincoln Riley's been here. With Jackson, with Sanders, and with Jordan, they should be really good to go. Gives them they all give something very unique to SC here, and that's something that's something that they haven't had in a while, depth and versatility, and it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be really fun to see what happens there. He was also asked who are guys who are underrated, who are playing, who he thinks going to play well. Devin Tompkins is one, and Prophet Brown is another guy as well. USC's also talked about some changes to their road itinerary, if you will. I think that's something that's gonna be a big subject of contention for SC fans. They would usually leave same day and stuff like that, and people really hated the way they handled their travel. They're not gonna let people know what they're gonna do with their travel. But hopefully it leads to better results because they were in every road game, they just couldn't win every road game. So that's something as well. I think Elijah Page, Makai Lemon, and Kamari Ramsey are the ones who went to Vegas. Kamari Ramsey was asked about, he really he talked about how he was really excited to play with DJ DJ Harvey, who is his god brother, which I did not know. So that's like they keep it in the family as well. So that's going to be really something that's really be looking forward to see how that secondary kind of meshes together as well. So not only is it Trojan family in that secondary, it's real life family in that secondary as well. As far as the offense goes, and there's a lot of talk about Jaden Mayava and Longstreak and Longstreet. I really like Hussein Longstreet as a prospect. I think he is a guy who can really do some really special things. That's why he's that's why he's a 4 or 5 star or whatever quarterback. I would and I think part of this is like if you have a veteran who's making rookie mistakes, then just play the rookie. So I think that is what Jaden Mayava has to figure out for himself. I think there are some things that USC can do. I think USC can take the ball out of his hands a little bit and have them run the football. I mean, they were one of the few teams in college football who were 60% pass. And I mean, the Washington game comes to mind, where they just threw the ball, 40 to 50 times in a close game. It just seemed like it was just like, we're throwing the ball every single down and not running the football when we have, the ability to run the football. They had one of the highest average per carries in the Big Ten last year. So like, why wouldn't you run it a little bit more? I think him having that help on the sidelines to kind of, he's still the play caller, but like, let's be honest, like he wasn't hired by Chad Bowden. He wasn't hired by Jen Cohen. Like all this stuff is like something to think about. Um, when you're going forward, I don't want to get to the whole should Riley get fired, should whatever. I think Riley has to rediscover his ability to coach. Like I'm sure he's a confident head coach. I think he's a guy who knows what he's doing, but he has to show here. It has to show Trojan fans here flat out. Like I know what I'm doing. I got this, and I'm going to be able to. We're going to be able to find a way to go ahead and win 9 to 10 games this year. It's a big. I mean, it's huge. I mean, everything surrounding SC is positive, positive football wise, but they need their on the field results as the missing key to the whole thing. Like the foundation's built, house is built, but maybe it has no doors and windows. It's a nice house, but they got no doors and windows. So he has to put doors and windows on the house for the house to be complete out there in Los Angeles. And this is also a great opportunity for the offensive staff to show that they can handle adversity on the offensive line. I think the one blessing that could happen with DJ Winfield's injury, not injury, but his eligibility is that you can develop some help on the interior, that you can show that you can get somebody ready to play in probably one of the most difficult conferences to play in, a conference where they don't call holding, a conference where they have road graders up front, they have young men who are just gigantic, if you will, like so and who are going to probably go to the National Football League. Like, can I get Ben Willis ready? Can I get Miller ready? Can I get those guys ready? Can I have them seize the opportunity here right now for the Trojans to make things happen? I think that's a huge challenge there. Um, and we'll see. We'll see if the kid from Auburn, Washington can come through and to be that stalwart interior offensive lineman that SC needs. That SC needs. So I mean, I'm sure everything's an open competition. So we'll see what happens there. I know some folks were talking about, so some folks continue this whole thing about Jaden Mayava and and wanting him not to start. I think if he's gonna start. I think that I'm gonna judge him on. I'm not like some waving a gold and a gold flag here for cardinal and gold flag for Jaden Mayava. My last name is Douglas, not Mayava. So I'm not, I'm not doing that. But at the end of the day, I think he is a guy who he has to show his worth. I mean, he can't be throwing the ball backwards in a game. Like, I couldn't believe he threw the ball backwards in the A&M game. That was brutal. But he also let a furious comeback against the SEC team as well, which is huge, absolutely huge. So everything is there for them. I know that the poll has them picked as ninth. They could use that. They can use that as fodder very easily. Them being picked ninth, they have a lot of pieces. They improve themselves defensively. That defensive renaissance should continue this year. They're playing Dalen's getting all the pieces he needs, and then Lincoln has to find a way to get to move the football consistently against these Big Ten defenses. The schedule is just like it kind of rolls right into the Illinois game. It's a perfect situation. It just rolls right into rolls into right into that game. Both teams probably be undefeated. Um, when that game takes place, perfect time to go and win your first um Big Ten road game, if you will. So we'll see. We'll see. More to come on for the USC Trojans fall camp next week. Should be fun. Hopefully no big injuries, and hopefully they just get a lot of good they get a lot of good work in, and we'll see what happens there as far as that goes. So we'll continue some shows on this weekend. See you next time on the put on the Student Body Right USC podcast. See you next time. Take care. Deuces and fight on.